Over time, an increasing number of men are turning away from the concept of marriage, seeing it as an investment with diminishing returns, especially with rising divorce rates. Their attitudes towards marriage are evolving. Many are becoming less interested in pursuing it, either because they don't see the benefits or because they believe the potential drawbacks outweigh any rewards. Numerous men are actively avoiding marriage, and who can really blame them? Marriage has become a risky gamble. With divorce rates hovering around 55 to 60%, it's comparable to being asked to board a plane with a 55 to 60% chance of crashing. Would anyone knowingly take that risk? On top of that, laws concerning cohabitation with a partner vary, and after living together for a certain period, the court often treats it similarly to a formal marriage, especially when children are involved. The advantages of marriage have significantly diminished. Why would a man risk losing custody of his children, his home, and his finances for someone who could potentially destroy his emotional and financial well-being simply because they got bored or found someone else's attention more alluring?
Do you think that American women are unmarriageable?
Here's the answer that most men will tell you. We don't just think it. We know it. Now, it is a legitimate question you're asking, and it's one many women are asking. Why aren't men wifing us up anymore? Why aren't they even asking us out? Now, in her video, she brings up things like women have become more promiscuous and stuff like that. And to a certain extent, that might be a fair point. I mean, the average guy doesn't look at a woman with a high body count as someone who's wife material. He'll look at her as, well, you know what material. The real issue right now is the complete and utter lack of respect that today's modern women have for men. They don't respect us as human beings. They don't respect us as men. And they say it all the time. Oh, they won't say it directly, but they'll say things like, we don't need you anymore. You don't serve any purpose in society. You're the old way. It's women's time now. And men have heard that over and over again. And the other part of it is they have this preconceived notion of what a man is supposed to be and what he's supposed to do. And what is he supposed to be? Very simply, perfect, as in not a single flaw.
Let me share a story about a male friend who went through a devastating divorce a few years ago and is only now starting to recover. He was deeply in love with a woman he would have moved mountains for. Yet she divorced him after coming out as a lesbian and revealing that she had been cheating on him for 2 years, even during a vacation he had funded. She admitted that she had married him to please her parents, and because he was an ideal match financially and physically. In the aftermath, she received widespread support for living her truth, while he struggled through alimony and child support payments. He saw his children every other weekend, fell into depression, and battled alcoholism. Meanwhile, his ex-wife continued to live in the home he had provided, now with her new live-in girlfriend who quit her job so the ex-wife could continue collecting alimony. After 2 years of legal battles, he finally secured shared custody. Many men may consider marriage again if divorce laws change, or if government influence diminishes. As it stands, however, countless men are choosing to stay away. For me, marriage is a legally binding contract with severe consequences, even with a prenuptial agreement. The aftermath of divorce can be financially devastating, often leaving men in ruin. What's more, most women find prenups offensive, and they can create complex power dynamics. The ability to end a relationship often holds more weight for the party with the greater stake. The pressure is overwhelming. Additionally, many women desire extravagant weddings, which come with a hefty price tag. Even those who claim indifference may secretly yearn for them. Some men are content with physical intimacy and avoid the demands and responsibilities of commitment. For a man, there's virtually no benefit to legal marriage. I'm focused on building my future, establishing a successful business, accumulating wealth, and acquiring property. Why would I risk losing everything I've worked for because someone was in my life for a few years? And when things didn't work out, my hard-earned success crumbles? Get a prenup, they say. But why would I willingly sign one government document, a marriage license, that doesn't benefit me, only to then sign another, a prenup, to protect myself from the first? Ask any divorce lawyer about men's experiences with divorce, and you'll quickly see why more and more men are realizing its potential for disaster. The men I know who are married often seem discontent or burdened. They dedicate themselves to supporting their families, and as soon as the last child finishes their education, the wife files for divorce. Another acquaintance has a stay-at-home wife with children. She takes over the garage and outdoor spaces, constantly giving him a long list of tasks to complete when he returns from work. He seems to have little personal downtime. I've also noticed cases where wives monopolize bathroom counters with makeup and other items, leaving the man with just one drawer. Moreover, older married couples often appear distant, with little communication, and struggling with unhappiness or monotony. I haven't encountered much that presents marriage as an appealing long-term prospect, and it often seems that men bear the brunt if the marriage ends. From my perspective, marriage seems to offer almost no downside for women, while the upsides for men are minimal at best. Among the many marriages I've seen end, I've never observed the wife, or soon-to-be ex-wife, being at a disadvantage, unless you count receiving the house and a substantial portion of his income as a disadvantage. In the event of divorce, the husband typically carries the primary financial burden, regardless of the reason for the separation. If she cheated, too bad. He should have been more attentive, attractive, and loving. Perhaps if he had been, she wouldn't have strayed. He can forgive her and she might cheat again, or he could forfeit half or more of everything he has worked for. If he cheated, he's labeled a scumbag who must surrender half of his life's achievements. If she's unhappy for any reason, he's expected to change to sustain her happiness, or else forfeit half of everything he's worked for. If he's unhappy, he's expected to endure the misery or surrender half of everything. Can you spot the recurring pattern? The problem isn't marriage itself. It's the legal overreach and the tendency of some women to emasculate men once divorce proceedings are initiated. Many women nowadays view marriage as a form of financial security, exploiting the court's bias towards women to secure their financial future. Given all this, can you really wonder why so many men choose to avoid marriage? And that concludes today's discussion on MGTOW Voice. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay updated on future videos. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you all in the next video.